Atheists are in the news again. They have been taking center stage in a number of areas. We know in England that they have raised money to put on banners on buses stating that God probably doesn't exist, so go out and live pretty much any way you want to. Here in the United States, we are finding that atheists are going after the United States Postal Service. They are protesting a stamp honoring or commemorating the life and work of Mother Teresa. And as you can suspect, the Freedom from Religion Foundation is up in arms because they believe that the stamp violates some principles of the Postal Service in the way that it commemorates certain individuals. And since Mother Teresa is a religious figure, the organization states that it is a violation of those principles, and I suspect that it would also violate their understanding of the First Amendment. And deeply rooted in this, of course, is their opposition to the pro-life movement, because Mother Teresa also was anti-abortion, and when she received the Nobel Peace Prize, she got up there and gave a rant, an anti-abortion rant. And you can see how all of these things work together in the atheist and secularist movement. And we saw the same thing with the quarterback at the University of Florida in this ad that was going to be put on the Super Bowl. It'd be sponsored by the Focus on the Family. And this is again one of these things that anytime anybody comes up and says anything about a pro-life position, because the pro-life position is inherently religious, you're going to see the forces of secularism coming out and trying to bring that down. And so they've been protesting this 30-second ad that's going to show Tim Tebow and his mother saying that I guess she had an illness when she was pregnant with him, and that pregnancy she was encouraged to have an abortion. She decided not to. So it's 30 seconds, getting up there, celebrating the life, the decision they had made, the choice that Tim Tebow's mother had made. And isn't what these guys say this is all about? It's all about choice. So why not getting up there and celebrate the notion of choice? Of course, it's much deeper than that, because the Tebows don't believe in abortion at all. And of course, this has outraged the secularists. And you imagine this 30-second television ad, and these people get up in arms over it, protesting that they take it down. I thought they were the tolerant bunch. I thought they were against theocracy. I thought they were against imposing other people's morality on other people. So why is it that now they've become the theocrats? They want to impose their morality on the rest of us. This is a free enterprise system. You want to buy an ad, you want to pay $3 million for an ad, go and do it. In fact, I'm thankful that they did all this, because it's given more and more attention to this commercial that will be shown during the Super Bowl. But this thing about the stamps really sent me over the top because of some of the argumentation with all of this. In fact, if you go back through the history of these stamps, you will see that there are a number of religious figures who are on stamps. In fact, if you look at the Christmas stamps, you will see Madonna and Child as part of even Christmas stamps over the years. So this isn't anything new for someone like Mother Teresa to be celebrated. In fact, they had St. Francis of Assisi, who was a Catholic saint, received a stamp in 1982. Gandhi, the Indian leader known for his Hindu beliefs, was honored by the Postal Service in 1961. Father Flanagan, the Roman Catholic priest who founded the Boys Town Orphanage, was honored in 1986. And as I mentioned, both Jesus and his mother Mary have been featured on stamps over the years. And then there is civil rights leader, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., also received a stamp in his honor. And so at least the Freedom from Religion Foundation was consistent and protested Father Flanagan. Now, can you imagine this? This is the way their world works. If your work is in all associated with religion, then that work has to be disavowed. The only thing that counts in this world is if people do something not out of religious reasons, but for any other reasons other than religion. These people are insane. When the Apostle Paul talks about how they suppress the truth in unrighteousness and God gives them over, this is an indication of that. It affects them mentally. They are so absorbed. They hate God so much. In fact, they don't hate. It's the phrase, "I don't believe in God and I really hate Him." If they truly didn't believe in God, they would leave all of this alone. These stamps aren't bothering anybody at all. There isn't going to be any sort of religious impact on a Mother Teresa stamp, or buying a Father Flanagan stamp, or buying a stamp by the Reverend Martin Luther King. They know all of this. So what is their preoccupation with the fact that God doesn't exist? If God doesn't exist, let it go. Don't bother with it. There is another agenda here, and I think that agenda is to impose their particular form of morality on us. And I think we're beginning to see that this is what's happening in our nation. You can see with this, the owners of these various malls across the country, that they arrested a man because he was talking about religion to two people in the mall. Now, it's not that he put up a soapbox somewhere and began to preach. It's not that he carried a sign around with him telling people to repent, and if not, they're going to go to hell. And it's not that he went up to people and started soliciting the conversation regarding religion. It's just that the conversation regarding religion, as far as I've been able to see, came up in conversation, and some store employee then reported him to the mall police, and this man was arrested. We're beginning to see in Canada where these secular organizations are going after Christian schools because they have a particular moral code and a particular academic code in terms of what people can teach. And this is going to happen here in the United States as well. And so what is offered as a substitute for all of this? Well, Katharine Hepburn, I guess there's a stamp commemorating Katharine Hepburn. And now, Katharine Hepburn, for many of you, may be too young to know. Katharine Hepburn was a very famous movie actress, received a number of Oscars, did some very good work in film, was often coupled with both in private life and in public life and on film with Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy was married at the time. The two of them really had a liaison together that everybody in Hollywood knew about. And so she's been commemorated in the stamp too. Now, I could protest her. Maybe we should protest for this particular stamp because she is an outspoken atheist. In a Ladies' Home Journal article that was published in the October 1991 issue, this is what Katharine Hepburn said. She says, "I'm an atheist, and that's it. I believe there's nothing we can know except that we should be kind to each other and do what we can for other people." So here you have Mother Teresa working on her religious assumptions that God exists and that she ought to be kind to people. This is why she's doing what she's doing. And that is against what the freedom from religion people are all about, because it has a religious connotation attached to it. But Katharine Hepburn can be honored because she's an atheist and she wants to be kind to people too. At least Katharine Hepburn has a justification for her reason for being kind. She's created in the image of God, and these people are created in the image of God. What is the justification for kindness for Katharine Hepburn? This is the problem that I have with atheists. They want to borrow the moral worldview of Christianity, or parts of the moral worldview of Christianity that they deem is acceptable to them. But they want to be able to say that they can account for that given the basic assumptions of their atheistic worldview, and they cannot. The atheists have gone mad in our world, and I want to see them do it more. I hope they go out there publicly and make other pronouncements and denouncements in the press. It only helps our cause.